Hello. First and foremost, I have to always give you and myself a round of applause. You already know how it goes. Okay, so thank you to everybody for listening to tonight's podcast of self-care. And take the time out of your busy schedule to join in and listen to the podcast. We are live right now, so if you have the call-in number, give us a call. We'd like to know what you think, or if you don't have time to call in, that's absolutely fine. You can leave a comment on the podcast, and we will definitely reply back, and we'll still continue the conversations. So again, as I mentioned in the beginning, we are discussing self-care. And last month was Mental Awareness Month. And I wanted to discuss self-care then, but for some reason, I didn't get around to doing that episode, which is okay. Because now we're in June and mental health awareness. I hope I said it the first time. I might have said self-care awareness. Either way, I meant mental health awareness. Was last month, and now we're in June, right? So I feel like every time there is like a holiday or an event or a month that we're celebrating something, it's always the focus is that particular month, that particular moment. And after that month has gone and that moment has passed away, we're no longer discussing mental health awareness or Black History Month or Easter, etc., right? But I think that mental health awareness is definitely important and just not something that should be celebrated 1 month, or not celebrated, I guess, emphasized 1 month out of the year, because we see so many instances where mental health awareness is the cause for most people making life-changing decisions, violence, finances, whatever the case may be. And I think it's something that we should definitely keep open and discuss and share methods of what we do to remain insane and take care of ourselves and make ourselves our priority. It's the only way that you can stay sane, that you can keep your mental health intact, is to place yourself first and keep yourself first. And I think a lot of times people, I know that I have, just forget to do that because of the morals that we've been taught, like take care of everybody else first, don't be selfish. And being selfish, that means, you want to put everybody else's needs before yours because you don't want to seem like a selfish person. When in fact, it's actually okay to be selfish with yourself and your time and your energy and your surroundings. It's okay to put yourself first. It's okay to think about yourself. And you know what's so ironic to me is that we are taught not to be selfish and to think about others and put others first, right? And think about everybody else's feelings. But when you're on the plane and they're doing the instructions for emergency situations, if it lands and you have to put on the air mask and a life jacket, et cetera, right? If you rode a plane, you've seen it a billion times. But in that demonstration, they mentioned when the air device falls down from the ceiling to place it over yourself first and then your toddler, right? Because you have to make sure that you're breathing and you're going to sustain yourself to be able to take care of this individual. That's your responsibility, your child. So it makes sense to put your air device on first and then place it on your child's instead of vice versa. But we don't relate the two in life. So if you would take care of yourself in an extreme situation like that, why would you not always place yourself first in life, which is a semi-extreme situation. You only get one. You want to make the best of it. You want to have the best life. You want to make the best decisions. You want to be happy and positive and living your best life, right? So it's fertile. You want to take care of it. You want to make sure that you cultivate it, that you nurture it with good seeds and good water and good thoughts and time for you and things that make you happy and things that are enjoyable, so that you enjoy the best parts of your life, your one life that you get while you're here. So with all that being said, again, mental health awareness is real. It's important. Self-care is important. And that is the topic of tonight's show. We're talking about self-care. So I wanted to touch on the mental health awareness aspect of it first, because like I mentioned a few minutes ago, you have to take care of yourself, right? So self-care. So I know there are a lot of different methods that people practice for self-care, meditating, vacations, shopping, reading, what else? Cooking, singing, dancing, sports, going out, hanging out, etc. All kind of things, right? And I have a lot of different methods that I practice for my self-care also, and I wanted to share those. And whatever your methods are, leave us a comment. Tell us how you take care of yourself. What do you do to make sure that you get the proper love and the proper mind clearing time and the proper goals accomplished and things accomplished in your life by taking care of yourself? So one of the things that I like to do is disconnect. What disconnecting is to me is pulling the plug from everything, everybody, social media, unless it's business related, because if you are building your brand, you definitely want to stay consistent. But they have all these apps now where you can kind of schedule your posts. So I guess you still can disconnect from social media and people and just the outside life, like TV and everything, and just focusing on yourself and your thoughts, and not listening to any other noises, nobody else's things that they have going on in life, just strictly focusing on your life and your thoughts and what you should do next to guarantee you're living your best life. So I do that often. I try to do it at least once a year. It used to be more often, like twice. But it's difficult to pull away at times, although it's so necessary and it's so rewarding when you do. So back to the disconnect. So basically that means, just like I said, disconnecting from life, social media, just kind of being with yourself and, doing your thing and focusing on what it is you need to focus on, and reading books and writing goals and whatever it is that's important to you, So I do that often. And like I said, it's quite rewarding to just really step away and just really listen to your inner voice and pay attention to different signs and what you're actually doing, instead of like always in other moments, like not enjoying that present moment because you're so tied up in like your phone and social media and posting. And so I basically disconnect, and it just really depends on what I feel like I need to accomplish, or when I feel like I'm ready to snap back. I try to do at least 5 to 7 days and kind of switch it up. Like the first 2 to 3 days, I might not watch, like not have TV on at all. Or get on social media for like 1 hour of that day and do whatever it is I need to do. And that's all social media platforms. Like for 1 hour, have my phone completely off, or have it on and just have it on like silent. Don't have it near me at all, like in my room away. So I'm not focused on who's calling or what's going on. And I'm just like, on my other ish, like, my goals, like, what am I doing? Like, focus, emailing and researching and doing things that are important to growth and development, and finding out books and things like that. So whatever it is that inspires you. So that's one thing that I like to do, to disconnect. That's actually what I do a lot, to disconnect. And it's, like I said, for the third time, rewarding, but it's therapeutic. And it also helps you to set boundaries in your life and your relationships with other people, because sometimes you need to just get away and there's no explanation as to why or when and how long it's going to be. For me, I just like disconnect, and when I'm ready to come back, I kind of do. It's not like, hey, Monday at 3:00, it's just like, okay, I feel like I've released some feelings, and I've inhaled some positive vibes and a new outlook on life, and now I can re-enter and listen to everybody else's noises and see what everybody else has going on in social media world, and people don't sometimes understand that you have to just take time out for you. It's not personal. It's not against anybody. It's putting yourself first and self-care, like taking care of yourself, doing what you need to do for that time. And although you want and you are a great friend, you can't always be there at every moment for life-changing events that might be going on with them. At that point, you have to just take that time to focus on you and just really think about everything, like actions, your actions, everybody's actions, things that you've said, things that you've done, how you want to be better, how you just want to evolve every day. What's going to help you accomplish that, and what can help you be better, and analyze things that you might have said or you might have done that day or the day before, and how you can be better the next day. Things of that nature. Just, evolving and growing and reevaluating yourself in the midst of all the other things, and being accountable for your actions and realizing your role in the situation, good or bad, but just analyzing yourself and being accountable, and just want to grow. So the next time, if there's a next time that situation happens, you can be better. You'll already be aware, so it won't be a surprise, and you can handle things differently, and you can just be better all around. And not saying that you are not great, but you can always evolve and handle things differently. That's part of life. That's part of growing, maturity. So you mature to different levels because you grow and you evolve, and that's what life is about. You can't stay stuck at like 5 years old, right? You got to grow up to 20 and 21 and 35 and 65. So with growth, there's evolution, there's accountability, there's maturity, and all those things in you. So what are some things that you all do for self-care? How do you keep your mind clear? How do you stay focused, avoid the distractions? What methods do you practice to evolve, to grow? How do you hold yourself accountable? Leave us some comments. Check us out on social media at QueenBoss777 on IG, QueenBoss on Twitter, QueenBoss on Facebook, I believe. Yeah. So make sure you are following us and you are catching us live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time on all your major platforms. And we look forward to talking about other ways that you practice self-care what you do to put yourself first, what you do to remain in a good space, what you do to make sure that you are being the best version of yourself that you can be. We would love to hear your practices. We would love to hear your feedback on some of the methods that we discussed and anything that you would like to hear going forward. So remember that self-care is the best care and the most important care and role that you have in your life is to take care of yourself, put yourself first, love yourself the best way that you can, because what you exude is what you attract. And if other people see that you treat yourself like royalty, like the queen that you are, like the queen boss that you are, they have no other choice but to treat you as the queen boss that you are, because they will see it, it will radiate, it will shine, it will show, you will glow, and they will want to know what is it that you're doing and how can they be involved. Because if I seen somebody that was exuding all of those things, I would want to know what she was doing and how can I be down. Like right now, tell me your secret. So it's not a secret. It's just self-care. So to anybody that is still wondering what it is, how you do it, it's self-care. It's taking care of yourself. It's making sure that you are mentally stable, making sure that you are talking to someone, friends, therapists, psychologists, all of those things are okay. It's really okay to talk to people. It's necessary at times. So do those things, whatever it takes. Paint, laugh, sing, cry, joy, forgive, hug, love, all of that. Do all of that and take care of yourself, because self-care is the best care. Good night. Thank you again. And I'm going to leave you with a hand applause, hand clap.